My name is Jake Anderson, 42 years old. For the past 16 years, I've worked as a wildlife officer in Alaska's Denali region. I live alone at a remote ranger station 25 miles from the nearest settlement, a small place called Birch Creek. Just me in the wilderness. The closest human being is 3 miles away. That's exactly how I wanted it. Before my ranger service, I spent 8 years as a sheriff's deputy in Fairbanks. Borough Police Department, regular work, Friday night bar fights, drunk disputes, domestic calls, petty theft. The schedule was brutal, barely any days off. My wife couldn't take it. She said, quote, "Zero. We lasted 3 years together, then divorced. No kids." After the divorce, I hung on for 2 more years in law enforcement, but finally understood I couldn't do it anymore. I was tired of people, their problems, their stupidity, the endless midnight calls. I joined the Park Service in 2008, went through retraining, got assigned to the Denali district. Started working with a team, then requested transfer to a solo station. This one, remote, isolated, inconvenient. For me, perfect. The station is small, a log cabin 13 by 20 feet, wood stove, cot, table, shelves for supplies. Outside, a shed for tools, woodpile, shower setup for Saturdays. No electricity. Light from kerosene lamp and flashlight. Water from a creek 150 feet from the cabin. Radio communication with base station at Birch Creek twice daily, 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. Emergency situations anytime. The work is simple but demands discipline. Daily patrols averaging 12 miles, sometimes more. I check mineral licks, feed stations for ungulates, monitor forest conditions, keep a wildlife log. How many moose, caribou, bears, tracks I've seen. Winter on skis, summer on foot. Spring and fall are the hardest. Mud season, rivers flood. In 16 years, I've seen plenty. Arrested poachers 3 times it came to physical fights. Once I fired a warning shot to stop someone, rescued lost tourists. City people come into the wilderness without maps, without GPS. Get lost within 2 hours, then you spend days searching. Found injured animals, moose with broken legs, bears in traps, birds with shattered wings. Some I saved. Some I had to put down to end their suffering. My temperament is reserved. I don't waste words or show unnecessary emotion. I've learned to rely only on myself. In the wilderness, that's right. No one to count on. Help is far away. You survive alone. No friends, but I have acquaintances. Local residents, rangers from neighboring sectors, forest workers. Once a month, I drive to Birch Creek for supplies. Sometimes I stop by the senior inspector's office to submit reports, get news. More contact than that I don't need. I thought nothing could surprise me anymore. Thought I'd seen everything this wilderness could show. But in May 2024, something happened that changed not just my life. This story began with a routine patrol and ended with me understanding. Sometimes when you save someone, you save yourself. May 17, 2024, Friday. I woke at 5:30 a.m. as usual, already light outside. In May, the sun rises early, washed with cold water from a bucket, reheated yesterday's oatmeal on the stove, drank coffee, ate quickly without extra movements. At 6 a.m., I started packing. Planned patrol of the North Sector, 7.5 miles along a familiar trail by Clearwater Creek. Not a difficult route, but long. Need to check 3 mineral licks, 2 feed stations, conduct spring census of ungulates. If time allows, check the old observation tower on the ridge. Wind tore the roof off last winter. Need to assess if it's worth repairing or easier to build new. Packed my backpack methodically. Thermos of coffee, 2 sandwiches with canned meat, spare jacket, first aid kit, rope coil, knife, hatchet, waterproof matches. Radio in separate pocket, checked, full charge. GPS unit, binoculars, wildlife log, and oilcloth cover, pencil. Didn't take my rifle. This sector is usually quiet. Bears usually stay higher, closer to berry patches. But I put a signal flare gun in my pack just in case and clipped bear spray to my belt. Left at 6:15. Good weather. Warm, about 60 degrees. Sun shining, almost no wind. Snow melted completely a week ago. Ground dried out. Easy walking on the trail. May in the Alaskan wilderness is the best time. Everything comes alive, turns green. Birds calling, animals active. In winter it's dead and silent here, but in spring you feel nature waking up. First mile and a half went quickly on an old logging road. Road abandoned maybe 20 years. Trees along the edges already tall, but the ruts still visible. Easy walking, level without deadfall. Along the way I watched for tracks. Moose passed recently about 3 hours ago. Clear, deep print, large male. Further on, caribou tracks. Whole herd, maybe 6, headed to the river for water. Bird droppings on trail. Grouse roosted nearby. At mile 2.5, turned off the road onto a trail. Now real wilderness. Dark, smells of dampness and pine. Trail narrow, barely visible, but I know it by heart. Been walking it 16 years. Could do it with eyes closed. Walking slower now. Have to go around fallen trees, step over roots, sometimes squeeze between trunks. At mile 4, reached the first mineral lick. A mineral lick is an artificial feeding station for ungulates. Pure salt. Moose and caribou come to lick it, get minerals lacking in their regular diet. Checked it. Salt almost completely licked away. Need to add more. Wrote in log, May 17th, lick number 3, north sector. Requires refill. Pulled a bag of salt from my pack, poured into the wooden trough. About 7 pounds, should last 2 weeks. Continued along Clearwater Creek. Water high, spring runoff still ongoing. Creek loud, fast. Dangerous to cross, current would sweep you away. Good thing the trail runs along the right bank. No need to cross. Watch the water. Clean, clear. Can see stones on bottom. In June, grayling will run here. Can try my luck with a rod. At mile 5, found old bear tracks. About a week old, maybe a bit more. Female with cubs. 1 large print and 2 small ones next to it. They'd walked along the river, then turned into forest. Nothing strange, normal. In spring, females bring out offspring, teach cubs to find food, show them territory. Wrote in log, mile 5, tracks of female with 2 cubs, age approximately 1 week. By 9 a.m. reached the second feed station. Not a lick, but a regular feeding area. Hay, branches, grain mainly for caribou. Checked, hay almost all eaten. Little grain left. Also wrote it down, refilled from reserves. Next, plan to reach the tower, check its condition, then return to station by another trail. Should make about 7.5 miles in a loop. Be done by lunch if I don't delay. A routine workday, nothing special. I didn't know that in an hour, everything would change. After the second feed station, continued toward the tower. About a mile left. Trail went through thick spruce forest, then through mixed woods. Cedar, larch, birch. Sun climbed high, got hot. Took off my jacket, packed it away, walked in just my shirt. Comfortable. About 6 miles from the station, I felt something strange. Didn't understand right away what it was. Just got a feeling something wasn't right. Stopped. Listened. Then understood. Silence. Complete dead silence. This was wrong. May 10 a.m. Warm weather. The wilderness should be noisy. Usually at this time, birds are calling all over. Ravens cawing sharply, woodpeckers hammering tree trunks, jays chattering, chickadees whistling. Especially loud in spring nesting period. Everyone busy, fussing, calling. But here, nothing. just wind rustling leaves, creek babbling in the distance. I listened more carefully. The silence was oppressive, unnatural, as if all living things had fallen silent at once or left. This happens when a large predator is nearby, bear, for example, or wolf. Birds go quiet, small animals hide, wait for danger to pass. Looked around. Forest normal, nothing suspicious, trees, bushes, trail. But the discomfort didn't fade. My hand automatically reached for the flare gun on my belt. Checked, still there. Bear spray too. Continued, but now alert. Looking around, listening to every sound. About 600 feet later, the silence eased slightly. Somewhere far off, a raven cawed once, then went silent again. Too quiet for May. Walked another 1,000 feet. Trail led to a small rise. View opened up of the forest ahead. And then I saw it. Over the forest edge, about 1,600 feet away, birds circling. Many, maybe 20, maybe more. Black, large, ravens. Got out binoculars, focused. Exactly. Ravens circling low, slowly in one trajectory. Classic behavior. They found carrion. Usually in such cases, they're already on the ground or nearby trees, digging in, fighting over food. But these were just circling, not landing. Strange. Ravens are bold birds, greedy, cautious, but not to this degree. If they found food, they won't just circle. Something scaring them. Something near the carrion. Something dangerous. I stood watching through binoculars. Ravens kept circling. One tried to descend but suddenly shot back up, cawed anxiously. The others picked it up, cawed in chorus, then went silent again and continued circling. Lowered binoculars. Thought. Simple options. Either a large predator lying there, bear guarding its kill, not letting ravens near, or a person nearby, alive or dead. Or something else I hadn't considered, change route or not. About half a mile to the tower. Could reach it, check, return to station. Ravens aren't my problem. Carrion is normal in wilderness. Maybe a moose dropped. Heart gave out. Maybe caribou caught in avalanche. Spring, that happens. Snowpack collapses, crushes the animal. But something bothered me. Intuition? 16 years in wilderness, 8 years before that as deputy. Learned to sense when something's wrong. And now I sensed something wrong. Stood another minute. Ravens circling. Silence pressing. Wind died. Got stuffy. Looked at watch. 10:20. Enough time. I'll manage. Decided. I'll go look. Anyway, return route through that side is more convenient. Check what happened. If bear on a kill, I'll go around. If something serious, I'll call for backup on radio. Turned off trail. Went straight through forest toward the ravens. After about 150 feet, pulled out flare gun. Held it ready. Unclipped bear spray on belt. Checked knife. Slides out of sheath easily. Walked slowly, carefully, watching my steps. Branches not crunching, steps quiet. Kept looking around. What if bear nearby I didn't notice? But forest empty, dead. No sound, no movement. After about 1,000 feet, forest started thinning. Ahead, a clearing appeared. Small, maybe 150 feet across. Open. Ravens circling right above it. I stopped at the edge, crouched behind brush, looked. Clearing empty. Grass young, green, some muddy spots. Creek runs through middle, narrow, about a foot wide. On far side of clearing at the tree line, something dark lying there. Large, motionless. Ravens circling right over that spot. Bad feeling intensified. Sat behind brush. Looked at dark spot by tree line. Ravens kept circling, not landing. I tried to calm myself, find logical explanation. Most likely regular carrion. Moose, for example. In spring, they're weakened after winter. Not enough food, body exhausted, heart gives out, animal collapses, dies. This is normal, natural selection. Every spring I find 2 or 3 carcasses, or caribou could have been caught by snow cornice. They hang on slopes in places, then collapse. Crushes animal, that's it. End. Maybe old bear? They don't all survive winter either. Lie down in den in fall, don't wake in spring. Or wake but no strength to come out. Die right there in den. Sometimes crawl out to clearing, lie in sun, and that's it. I've found such cases, bear lying like it's sleeping. Eyes closed, pose calm. Heart just stopped. Ravens not landing means something scaring them. Logical. Maybe live bear nearby. Male found carrion guarding it. Or wolverine. Wolverines are mean, aggressive. Won't let ravens within gunshot. Could have dragged someone's kill here. Lying nearby, watching. Everything explainable, no mystery. Regular wilderness, regular spring, regular animal death. Happens every day. I just tired, probably. Got up early, walked 7 miles, heat. So seems like something wrong. But explanations didn't help. Discomfort didn't fade. Intuition built up over years screamed, go carefully, very carefully. Got out binoculars, examined clearing again carefully. Grass young, trampled in places. Someone walked recently, maybe same bear. Creek clean, water clear, no traces of blood. Dark spot by tree line, lying motionless. Size large, about 5 feet long, maybe more. Definitely not caribou. Moose or bear. Ravens circling stubbornly. One again tried to descend but shot back up. I followed with my eyes and understood. They're not afraid of what's on ground. They're afraid of something in the forest near the clearing. From there, someone or something is driving them away. This alarmed me even more. Live predator near carrion, that's risk. Bear's unpredictable, especially in spring. If male guarding kill and I approach, might attack. Wolverine also dangerous, small but teeth like wolves, temperament fierce. Checked flare gun, loaded, safety off. Bear spray in hand, ready. Knife slides out of sheath easily. If needed, I'll react in time. Decided to approach but not directly. Circle clearing along edge through forest from downwind. If there's bear, it'll smell me before I see it. I'll have time to retreat or fire flare in air, scare it. Got up, went along tree line, staying in shade. Steps quiet, breathing even, hands not shaking. Years of law enforcement taught me that. Know how to control adrenaline, act calmly under stress. But pulse quickened, body senses danger, went about 150 feet in an arc. Ravens noticed me, got agitated, cawed louder. I didn't pay attention, watched dark spot. It was getting closer. Another 100 feet. Stopped behind thick spruce, looked out. Now see better. Dark spot definitely animal. Lying on side, motionless. Fur brownish, thick. Paws large. Bear. Female, judging by size. Not huge. About 330 pounds, maybe less. I looked carefully. Female dead, that's certain. Pose frozen, eyes open, flies already landing. Dead recently, maybe a day, maybe 2. Fur well kept, not mangy. Animal was healthy before death. But why won't ravens approach? Female dead, not dangerous. Must be something else nearby. Looked around. Forest quiet, empty. Don't see anyone, but feeling of being watched doesn't fade. Like someone's looking at me from behind trees. Froze. Listened. Nothing, just wind, just ravens cawing. Maybe imagining, maybe paranoia from fatigue. But in wilderness, better safe than sorry. Took deep breath, gripped spray tighter. Decided, approach closer, see what happened to female. If no danger, I'll leave, call on radio for service to collect carcass. If danger, retreat, fire flare. Came out from behind spruce, slowly walked toward female. After about 30 feet, saw it. On her side, dark spot, dried blood. Bullet wound. Heart skipped. Got closer. Female lay on right side, muzzle to ground, paws extended. Fur reddish-brown, dense. Spring molt hadn't started yet. Large animal, adult, prime of life. About 330 pounds, maybe 350. Walked around, examined from all sides. On left side, just below shoulder blade, neat round hole size of quarter. Edges clean, fur around crusted with blood. Bullet wound, entry hole. No exit wound visible, meaning bullet stuck inside or came out other side but can't see under fur. Crouched next to her, pulled out knife, carefully parted fur on side. Wound clean, precise, professional shot. Hit right in heart or close. Death was quick. Female didn't get far. Dropped right here. Not much blood, meaning circulation stopped almost instantly. Poachers. Knew immediately. No one else shoots like that in wilderness. Licensed hunter wouldn't kill female in spring. That's prohibited. In spring they have young, and if you accidentally encounter one and have to defend yourself, you shoot point blank multiple times chaotically. Here, one shot precise from distance, aimed, examined body further, paws intact, not killed for pelt. Poachers usually cut paws right away to sell. Bear paws valued, especially in Asia. But here paws in place. Felt belly carefully. Gallbladder not removed. Also strange. Bear bile expensive, used in traditional medicine. Buyers always around. Poachers usually take bile first. But here nothing touched. Killed for no reason. Or scared, spooked, shot. Maybe female came out at them suddenly. They reacted instinctively. Or shot for fun, for sport. Those exist too. Come to wilderness to shoot, kill anything. Don't take trophies, just leave them. Anger rose in chest. Quiet, cold, familiar. Same as when I was deputy and saw cruelty without reason, senseless violence. Kill living creature for nothing, without need. Disgusting. Female wasn't bothering anyone, raising cubs, living her life, and they killed her. For what? Straightened up, looked around. Poachers left, that's certain. Don't see tracks. Grass young doesn't hold prints. Maybe a day passed, maybe two. In that time, track could have been erased by rain, wind. Finding them will be hard, but I'll try. Call inspectors, describe situation. We'll search. Got out radio, was about to press transmit, but then heard quiet sound, barely audible. Squeak or whimper from somewhere to right, about 30 feet. Froze. Listened. Silence. Then again quiet whimpering, pitiful, weak, alive. Cub. Heart skipped. Quickly walked toward sound, scanning ground. Whimpering got louder. About 30 feet from female at tree line lay upturned root system of old cedar. Huge, about 6 feet high. Dirt with roots sticking out like wall. Under roots depression, almost a den. Approached, crouched, looked inside. There sat a bear cub. Tiny, fluffy, size of small dog, maybe 7 pounds, no more. Fur reddish-gray, wet from dew. Eyes black, shiny, scared, ears pressed back, paws trembling. Sitting in depression, pressed to ground, not moving. Saw me, froze, only eyes widened. Then squeaked quietly, tried to crawl deeper, but no strength. Shaking finally all over. I froze, looked at him. Cub looked at me. Several seconds of silence. Then he quietly, pitifully whimpered, long drawn out, like calling mother. I looked at dead female, then at cub. Understood, he's been sitting here long time. Probably since mother was killed. A day, maybe more. No food, no water, no warmth. Waiting for mother to get up. But she didn't. Another day and he'll die. From dehydration, hunger, cold, or something in forest will find him, or wolves, small, defenseless, alone. I said quietly, "Hey, little one, don't be afraid, won't hurt you." Cub squeaked, shook harder, looked at me with huge black eyes. Didn't run, too weak, just sat and shook. I understood. Decision needs to be made now. Leave him here. Guaranteed death. Take him with me. Problems. Big problems. Can't keep cubs independently, violation of law. Need to take to rehabilitation center, process paperwork, transfer to specialists. Nearest center 125 miles away in Anchorage. 2 days travel by truck, if road passable. Now mud season, roads washed out. Might take week to get there. Cub won't survive such journey, he's already dying. I looked at him. He looked at me, shaking. Took deep breath, exhaled, decided. All right, little one, taking you. Figure it out later. I sat on my heels in front of upturned cedar, looked at Cub. He looked at me, shaking, whimpering quietly. I thought out loud. Old habit from deputy days. When you work alone, talk to yourself. Helps thinking. All right, step by step, not many options. First option, leave Cub here, go, call animal rescue. Let them come, collect him. But rescue is 125 miles away. While they get here, minimum 2 days. Cub won't last that long. Already dehydrated, weakened, in shock. Another day, that's it. Option doesn't work. Second option, take Cub, bring straight to rehab center. But how? To station 5 miles on foot. From there to town 25 miles by truck. From town to Anchorage 100 miles. Roads washed out by spring runoff, hard to pass. Will take 2 days minimum, maybe 3. Cub in this condition won't survive trip. Need to stabilize first, feed, water, warm, then transport. Third option, take Cub, nurse him at station, then bring to center. Logical, but problem. Station has no facilities, no milk, no bottle with nipple. Stove too hot. Cub will suffer. Need warm space with moderate temperature, soft bedding, goat or cow milk. I don't have that. Scratched back of head. Cub kept looking at me, shaking, squeaked quietly. All right, buddy. Thinking further. Remembered. 3 miles from station on old logging road lives Sarah Mitchell. Single woman, widow. Husband died 3 years ago. Logging accident. Truck rolled over, keeps chickens, small garden. House old but solid. Stove normal, doesn't overheat. And most importantly, she has goats, meaning fresh milk, natural. Perfect for Cub. I knew Sarah for a while. Sometimes stopped by when doing patrols, checked if everything okay, helped chop wood, fix fence. She thanked me, silently watched me leave. Always sad, gray, like not living but existing. After husband's death, she closed off. Loneliness eating her. Locals said, quote, 3, but couldn't help. Everyone has own problems. Sarah won't refuse, I knew. She's kind, compassionate. Sees Cub, heart will move, she'll help. But asking her this means involving her in problem. Cub is serious matter. Wild animal can bite, scratch. If something happens, responsibility on me. On her too. Might get questions, why kept wild animal without permit? Fines, inspections. Shook head, but no choice, no other options. Decided, go to Sarah, ask for help, explain situation. Tell her 2-3 days while Cub gets stronger, then take to center. If she refuses, well, I'll nurse him at station best I can, but at least I'll try. Looked at Cub. Quote, 4. Cub squeaked, didn't move, just shook. Carefully reached out my hand. Cub tried to crawl away, but no strength. Kept talking quietly. Easy, easy. Don't be afraid, won't hurt. Getting you out of here now. Cub whimpered quietly, pitifully. Took him with both hands, lifted. Light, about 7 pounds, no more. Warm but shaking. Fur wet, cold. Paws weak, barely moving. Pressed against me, buried muzzle in my shirt. Took spare jacket from backpack, wrapped Cub in it. He quieted, just breathing quietly. Warmth of jacket calmed him. Carefully placed bundle in backpack, left top open so air could get in. Cub lay quietly, breathing. Alive. Adjusted backpack straps, buckled waist belt, looked at dead female. Sorry, can't help you, but I'll save your Cub. Got out radio, pressed transmit. Ranger Station Anderson calling Birch Creek Base. Over. Silence. Interference. Bad signal. Trees blocking. Tried again. Station Anderson calling Birch Creek Base. Over. Silence again. No connection. Have to call later from station or from Sarah's. Put radio away, checked backpack. Cub breathing evenly, calmly, good. Looked at watch. 11:20. Hour walk to Sarah's, maybe bit more. Turned around, headed back through forest. Quickly but carefully. Don't shake, Cub. Ahead. 3 miles of wilderness and meeting with Sarah. I walked quickly but carefully, backpack on back, Cub inside wrapped in jacket. Tried not to shake, not make sudden movements. Heard him breathing quietly. Alive. First quarter mile, Cub lay calmly. Warmth of jacket calmed him. He quieted, maybe dozed. Walked familiar trail back to logging road. From there, about 2.5 miles to Sarah's. If don't delay, hour manages. But after quarter mile, Cub stirred, squeaked quietly. Then again louder. Stopped, carefully took off backpack, looked inside. Cub lying there, eyes open, looking at me, breathing heavily, fast, shaking. Got out canteen, unscrewed cap, poured little water in palm, brought to Cub's muzzle. Maybe drink. Cub sniffed, turned away. Won't drink. Too weak or doesn't understand it's water. Tried differently. Moistened fingers with water. Ran them across Cub's lips. He licked moisture with tongue but didn't react more. Little water, not enough. Needs milk, warm, nutritious, and needs nipple so he can suckle like from mother. Put canteen away, carefully placed Cub back in backpack. He squeaked quietly, pitifully. Said, quote 8, put on backpack. Walked faster than before. Little time. Cub weakening. If don't give food and warmth in next hour, might not survive. Trail led to old logging road. Wide, overgrown with grass, but easier walking than through forest. Picked up pace, almost ran. Backpack bouncing on back, but no choice. Cub squeaking quietly, intermittently. Each squeak like needle means he's suffering. First mile went fast, then second. Road wound between trees in places washed out by spring streams. Had to go around puddles, jump ditches. Didn't stop, breathing hard, heart pounding, but kept going. At mile 3, Cub went completely silent. Stopped, quickly took off backpack, looked in. Cub lying motionless, eyes closed, breathing. Looked closer, chest rising, falling, weakly but breathing. Lost consciousness from weakness or just sleeping. Body conserving energy. Carefully covered backpack with jacket so warmth wouldn't escape. Put back on, went on. Almost ran. Another mile to Sarah's, maybe bit more. A long way, calculated in head what Cub needs. Goat milk, diluted with water, warm but not hot, about 98 degrees like body temperature of mother bear. Baby bottle with nipple. Warm place but not hot, about 75 degrees no more. Soft bedding, peace. Feed every 3 to 4 hours, small amounts, don't overfeed. Stomach weak. All this Sarah has. Definitely has. Goats mean milk. Stove in house, but she knows how to heat without overheating. Bottle may be left from nephew. He visited 5 years ago, was little, or ask neighbors. Main thing, convince Sarah, explain it's temporary, 2-3 days while Cub gets stronger. Then take to center. Won't leave her with problem, take all responsibility on myself. Road went downhill, descended to creek, jumped over creek, climbed other side. Another 1,500 feet ahead, see clearing between trees. There's Sarah's house. Cub silent, prayed silently. Just hold on, just don't die on way. Came out to clearing. Sarah's house stood at edge. Old log construction, metal roof, smoke from chimney, home. Yard with garden dug up, beds ready, wooden fence leaning. Behind fence, pen for goats. See 3 goats grazing, chewing grass. Quickly walked to gate, pushed, opened with creak. Crossed yard to porch, climbed steps, knocked on door. Steps inside. Door opened. On threshold stood Sarah Mitchell. Thin, short, hair light brown, pulled in ponytail. Face tired but young, 32 years old. Freckles across nose, eyes green, surprised. Wearing home apron, old. Looked at me surprised, confused. Breathing hard, wiped forehead. Quote 10. She got flustered. Quote 11. Took off backpack, carefully opened, showed Cub wrapped in jacket. Quote 12. Sarah looked at Cub, eyes widened. She reached out, touched Cub carefully. He squeaked quietly, didn't even open eyes. Sarah looked at me. Something changed in eyes. Came alive. Come in quick. We'll take care of everything. Exhaled with relief. Sarah let me in house, closed door. Inside warm, smells of wood smoke and fresh bread. Clean, tidy. Table covered with oilcloth. Pot with something on stove. Windows curtained with cotton drapes. Regular rural house. Sarah quickly cleared space by stove, laid old blanket on floor, took another, folded double. Said, put him here, carefully. Carefully took Cub from backpack, unwrapped jacket, laid on blanket by stove. Cub lay motionless, eyes closed, breathing barely visible. Fur wet, cold, paws not moving. Sarah crouched next to him, carefully touched, stroked head quietly. Face changed, smoothed, softened. Eyes alive, attentive, not like I'd seen them last 3 years. Asked quietly. Quote 16 answered, quote 17. Sarah nodded, stood quickly, went to stove, opened damper, added wood. Said, quote 18. I said, quote 19. Sarah nodded. Quote 20. Went to next room. Heard opening cabinet, rummaging through things. Minute later returned with baby bottle. Old plastic rubber nipple. Washed under tap, rinsed with boiling water. Asked, quote 21, quote Sarah answered, not turning around. Quote 22, quote voice trembled on last words. Understood. Kept because had no children of her own. Hope was that someday would need it, but didn't. Sarah took pitcher of milk, poured in small pot, put on stove. Got clean water from bucket, added to milk about half, stirred. Waited till warmed. Checked temperature with finger. Saw her carefully dip finger in milk, hold. Nodded to herself, good. Poured milk into bottle, closed with nipple. Approached Cub, crouched next to him. I crouched on other side. Sarah carefully lifted Cub's head, brought nipple to muzzle. Cub didn't react. Eyes closed, mouth closed. Sarah said quietly, little one, open mouth. Drink. Touched nipple to Cub's lips, squeezed out little milk. Drop hung on lips. Cub licked with tongue instinctively. Froze, then licked again. Sarah carefully pushed nipple into mouth. Cub didn't resist. Nipple in mouth. Sarah pressed bottle slightly. Milk flowed. Cub flinched, then started suckling. Weakly, slowly, but suckling. Exhaled. Good sign. Suckling reflex works. Body still fighting. Cub drank. Sarah held bottle, stroked him with free hand on head. Face soft, eyes moist. Quietly murmured, drink, little one, drink. Everything okay, you're safe. Cub drank greedily, choking. Paws clutching bottle weakly but clutching. Eyes still closed but breathing steadier. Sarah didn't rush. Let drink slowly with pauses so wouldn't choke. Sat nearby, watched, didn't interfere. Sarah knew what to do. Years with goats, chickens, animals. She knew how to care, feed. Cub drank about half bottle, then stopped suckling. Nipple fell from mouth. Sarah removed bottle, carefully laid Cub back on blanket, covered with another blanket, light, warm. Cub quieted, breathing evenly, calmly. Minute later, fell asleep. Sarah watched him, then looked at me. Tears in eyes, but smiling. First time in 3 years I saw her smile. Said quietly, quote 25, nodded. Quote 26, she shook head. Quote 27, didn't understand but didn't ask, just nodded. Sarah stood, went to stove, poured tea in 2 mugs, handed me one, sat across, drank silently. Cub sleeping by stove. Outside window, birds singing. Looked at Sarah, saw something in her changed. Shoulders straightened, gaze alive, hands not trembling. She acted confidently, calmly. Like remembered what it means to care for something living. Thought then, maybe this cub will save not just himself. Maybe save her too. But for now, just thought. Sat at table, drank tea silently. Cub sleeping by stove, covered with blanket, breathing evenly, calmly. We sat at table, drank tea silently. Cub sleeping by stove, breathing evenly, calmly. Looked at Sarah. She looked at Cub. Face soft, eyes alive, not like they'd been last 3 years. Remembered when first saw her after Paul's death. Was August 2021. Doing patrol, returning to station through logging road. Heat, about 85 degrees. Decided stop at Mitchell's, ask for water, check if everything okay. Knew them little but said hello when met. Paul worked as mechanic in town, fixed equipment. Good man, skilled hands. Sarah homemaker, goats, garden, household. Went in yard, quiet. Goats in pen, chickens wandering. Knocked on door. Sarah opened, immediately understood something happened. Face gray, eyes red, swollen. Looked at me but like didn't see. Silent. Asked, quote 28, quote silent several seconds, then said quietly, quote 29, quote froze. Didn't know what to say. Then asked, how? Answered monotone like memorized. Repairing truck in garage, lifted on Jack. Jack slipped, crushed him, no one nearby. Found hour later, too late. Voice even, no emotion. Understood, in shock. Hasn't fully realized yet, said. Quote 32. She nodded, closed door, left. Didn't know how to help. No such words exist. Then saw her several times passing by, stopping in. Each time more gaunt, thinner, aged. Walked around yard like shadow. Fed goats silently, watered garden silently. Cooked food for herself, ate without appetite. Eyes empty like no one inside. Locals said won't recover, they had no children. Paul was everything to her. Now he's gone. Alone in house, alone in world. 32 years old, widow, childless. What's left? Goats, chickens, empty house. Stopped by about once a month. Helped what I could. Chopped wood, fixed fence, patched roof in fall. She thanked, quietly walked me to gate. Gaze empty. Saw she wasn't living, existing by inertia. Got up, fed goats, went to bed. Day after day. No meaning, no purpose, no joy. Understood because went through similar. After divorce, lived same way 2 years. Got up, went to work, came back, drank, went to bed. No emotions, no interest. Worked on autopilot, deputy sheriff, routine. Same calls, same drunks, same fights. Saw no point why all this, no family, no friends, empty house. Work for salary, salary for food, food to live. Live for what? Then first thought about leaving for wilderness. Not escape, leaving. Start over. Find place where no one, where don't have to pretend, smile, socialize, where can just be. Left and found myself. Wilderness gave what people couldn't. Peace, not loneliness, peace. Understood don't need crowds, don't need empty talk. Need silence, work, nature. Saved me. But Sarah didn't leave. Stayed in her house among dead husbands' things, among memories. Every day looked at his photos, slept in their bed, cooked in their kitchen. Couldn't let go. Slowly dying inside. Tried to help, but how? Words don't help. Work helps, but not long. Fix fence. Then what? Emptiness again. Need meaning, purpose, reason to get up in morning. Sarah had none. 3 years had none. Now looked at her, saw changes. Sat straight, hands not trembling, gaze alive. Every few minutes turned to check Cub, see if breathing, if uncovered. Caring. Cub gave her purpose. Finished tea, put mug on table. Sarah looked at me, said, Sarah, Cub needs time to get stronger. Maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3. Will you care for him? I'll come every day to help. When he's stronger, take him to rehab center. Sarah silent several seconds. Then quietly, can you keep Cub at home? Answered, temporarily. I'm wildlife officer, supposed to rescue animals, taking responsibility on myself. But need helper, will you? She looked at Cub, then at me. In eyes, hope, fear, doubt. What if I can't manage? Never worked with bears, said calmly. You'll manage. You know animals. Goats, chickens, same principle. Feed, care, watch, I'll teach everything. Sarah silent, thinking, then nodded. Okay, I agree. Exhaled. Agreed. Sarah will care for Cub. I'll come every day. In 2-3 weeks, take little one to center. Plan simple, clear. Stood from table. Quote 39. Sarah nodded. Quote 40. Put on backpack, went to door. Sarah walked me to porch. Went down steps, crossed yard to gate. Stopped at fence, turned. Wanted to say something more. Remind about milk, warmth. But Sarah already closed door, went inside. Left through gate, closed behind me. Went on logging road back to station. 3 miles, hour walk. Walked about 600 feet, stopped. Something wrong. Turned around. Road behind empty. Forest around quiet. But discomfort doesn't fade, like someone watching or watched recently. Looked around carefully. Trees, brush, grass. Nothing suspicious. But intuition not silent. 16 years in wilderness, 8 before as deputy. Learned to sense danger. Now sensed it. Looked closer at road under feet. Old ruts, overgrown with grass. My tracks, fresh, clear, going from Sarah's back. But here, bit to side, another track, not mine. Crouched, studied carefully. Track fresh, 2, maybe 3 hours ago. Urban shoes, sneakers, tread patterned, size about 10 or 11. Large person, about 220 pounds weight. Track deep. Walked unhurried, stride wide, confident. Got up, followed track. Led along road toward Sarah's. About 150 feet later, turned into forest to tree line. Followed, carefully, quietly. Knife unclipped on belt, kept hand near. Track led to large spruce 30 feet from road. Approached, looked around. Grass trampled. Someone stood here long time. Maybe half hour, maybe hour. And on ground, cigarette butts. Cheap brand, 2 butts. Stood, smoked, waited. Looked from spruce toward road. From here, see Sarah's house. Not all, but see gate, part of yard. Someone stood here, watched. Me? Sarah? Or both? Heartbeat faster. Poachers. Same ones who killed female. Tracked me, understood I took Cub. Followed. Waited till I left Sarah's. Or planning something else. Quickly returned to road, went further along track. Led from spruce back to road, then along road away from Sarah's. Went into forest, looped. Didn't go further. No time, dangerous. 1 person, maybe 2, armed, if they had rifle for female. Returned to where stopped. Stood, thought, options. First, poachers just passing by coincidence. Waited for someone, smoked, left. Didn't notice me, weren't watching. Don't believe. Too convenient spot for observation. Too fresh track right when I was at Sarah's. Second option, they watched me, saw me bring Cub to Sarah, understood he's there. Left but will return. Why? To take Cub. Threaten me? Or eliminate witnesses. Me, Sarah, Cub. Realistic option. Poachers don't like getting caught. Killing female. Fine. Maybe jail if proven. I found body, took Cub, evidence exists, they don't like it. Third option, want to scare, show they know where I am, where Sarah is, where Cub is. Psychological pressure, so I stay quiet, don't report to service. Also possible but dangerous. Such threats often turn to action. Got out radio, tried contacting station, pressed button. Station Anderson calling Birch Creek Base, urgent, over. Interference, noise, silence, bad signal. Trees blocking. Tried again. Station Anderson, Birch Creek Base, over. Silence. No connection. Have to go to station, contact from there. Radio stronger there, antenna higher. But Sarah left alone with Cub. If Poachers return, she's defenseless. Quickly returned to Sarah's, knocked on door. Sarah opened, surprised. "Jake, forget something?" said shortly. "Sarah, lock door with bolt. Windows too. Don't let anyone in till I return. If someone comes, don't open, understand?" She scared. What happened? Didn't want to scare more. Quote 46. Sarah nodded, frightened. Quote 47. Turned, quickly went to gate, looked back. Sarah closed door, heard bolt click, walked on road to station, fast, almost running. Need to contact base, call for help, describe situation. Send patrol, check area, find Poachers. But for now I'm alone. Sarah alone. Somewhere nearby, two unknowns with rifle, unclear intentions. Got to station in 40 minutes. Ran almost whole way. Stopped only to catch breath. Legs aching, back wet with sweat. Ran to cabin, threw door open, went straight to radio, turned on, adjusted frequency, pressed transmit. Station Anderson calling Birch Creek Base, urgent, over. Noise, crackle, interference, silence. Then short burst of voice, fragments unintelligible. Then silence again. Switched to backup frequency, tried again. Same. Tried 10 more minutes. Useless. No connection. Magnetic storm or equipment failing or atmospheric interference. Happens in May when cyclones come. Turned off radio, sat on cot. Thought, options. Can go to town on foot, 25 miles. Road washed out but passable. Take 8 hours. Get there, call help, return with patrol. But means all night Sarah alone. If Poachers come, she's defenseless. Can stay at station, wait till morning when signal restores, but same thing, Sarah alone, risk high. Can go back to Sarah, stay near her house, guard all night. If Poachers come, meet them. 1 against 2, not favorable, but some protection. Chose third, stood, packed backpack. Thermos with coffee, sandwiches, flashlight, knife, flare gun. Got rifle from locker, old but reliable. Double barrel 12 gauge. Shells, buckshot, 6 total. 2 in barrels, 4 in pocket, just in case. Locked station, went back to Sarah's. Went. Getting dark. May but evening still short. About 10 p.m., fully dark. Got there an hour. Approached house carefully through forest, not by road but from side. Came to tree line 150 feet from house. Stopped behind thick spruce. Looked around. Sarah's house quiet. Windows closed, light in one. Kitchen probably. Smoke from chimney. Yard empty. Goats in pen sleeping. Quiet. Found good spot. Old stump by spruce. Dry, stable. Sat, leaned back against trunk. From here, see house, gate, part of yard. If someone comes, see right away. Covered with jacket. Got out thermos, poured coffee. Drank few sips. Hot, strong. Warmed slightly. Put rifle on knees, hand on barrels, ready. Got dark fast. Sky gray, clouds low. Wind picked up cold, about 50 degrees, no more. Zipped jacket, raised collar. Sat motionless, watched house. Time went slow. 10 p.m., 11 midnight. Light in Sarah's window went out. She went to bed. I stayed alone in darkness. Wilderness at night lives own life. Sounds you don't hear during day, at night loud, clear. Owl hoots somewhere far. Branches creak in wind. Something rustles in grass. Mouse maybe, porcupine. Far away, wolf howled long, lonely. Other wolves joined, howled in chorus. then quieted, sat, listened, watched. Eyes adjusted to dark, made out silhouettes of trees, house outline, fence. Tension didn't fade. Every sound like needle, every shadow movement, check what it is. Remembered service in sheriff's office, stakeouts, night shifts, pursuits. Then also sat hours in darkness waiting for criminals. Adrenaline in blood, pulse fast, hands on weapon. Familiar state, but here different. Not city, not backup 5 minutes away. Here wilderness. 3 miles to station, 25 to town. No help, just me. 2 a.m. cold seeping. Stood, stretched quietly to get blood moving. Jumped in place, crouched back, hands on rifle. Thought about Sarah. Sleeping now or not? Maybe also not sleeping. Listening to every sound, afraid. Cub next to her, covered, warm, breathing, alive. She's caring for him, feeding, warming. First time in 3 years has purpose. Someone who needs her. Thought about poachers. Who are they? Locals or outsiders? If locals, dangerous, no terrain can approach quietly. If outsiders, also dangerous. Don't know rules, might act unpredictably. Why killed female? For nothing, for fun, or scared, defending? And why watched me? What planning? Many questions, no answers. 3 a.m. 4. Eyelids heavy, want to sleep but can't. Stood, splashed face with cold water from canteen. Painful but helps. Alertness returned. 5 a.m. Sky in east lightened. Dawn close. Exhaled. Night passed calmly. No one came. Maybe imagined. Maybe poachers went far, won't return. Or return today. Stayed sitting, waiting for dawn. Dawn broke at 6 a.m. Sky lightened, gray, cloudy. Stood from stump, stretched stiff legs. Night passed calmly, but anxiety didn't leave. Checked rifle, loaded, safety on. Put in case, hung on shoulder. Approached Sarah's house, knocked quietly. Steps inside. Door opened. Sarah stood on threshold, disheveled in house robe. Saw me, surprised. Quote 49. Said, quote 50. She nodded, stepped from door. Quote 51. Went in. Cub lay by stove on blanket, curled in ball. Breathing evenly. Fur dried, fluffy. Crouched next to him, touched carefully, warm. Pulse on paw, steady. Good sign. Sarah poured me coffee, put on table. Sat, drank few sips. Hot, sweet. Sarah sat across, looked at me attentively. Asked quietly, quote 52. Didn't lie. Yes, guarding just in case. She paled. Guarding from who? Silent moment, then said, yesterday saw tracks. Someone watching your house, don't know who. Maybe poachers who killed female, maybe someone else. Decided to be safe. Sarah clasped hands on knees. They'll return. Answered honestly, don't know. Maybe. That's why I ask, be careful. Keep door bolted. If someone comes, don't open. Shout loud, I'll hear. She nodded. Lips trembling. Saw she scared but holding. Said quietly, quote 59. Finished coffee, stood. Quote 60. She nodded. Quote 61. Left, closed door behind me. Went quickly to station. 3 miles in 45 minutes. Ran into cabin, straight to radio. Turned on, adjusted frequency. Quote 62. Interference crackle. Then voice, choppy but audible. Quote 63. Exhaled with relief. Signal works. Quote 64. Silence few seconds, then voice of operator, Sergeant Morris, Senior Inspector. Quote 65. Confirmed. Quote 66. Sergeant Morris sighed. Quote 67 said firmly. Quote 68. Pause. Then, quote 69. Clenched fist. 3 days too long. Quote 70. Sergeant Morris answered. Quote 71 said, quote 72. Turned off radio, sat on cot. 3 days no help. I'm alone. Sarah alone. Cub defenseless. Somewhere nearby, poachers. Took rifle, checked shells. 2 in barrels, 4 in pocket. Got 8 more from locker, put in backpack. Sharpened knife on whetstone. Loaded flare gun. Returned to Sarah an hour. Knocked. She opened quickly, scared. What they say? Answered calmly. Patrol in 3 days. Till then I'm nearby. Don't worry. She exhaled. Okay. Looked at Cub. He woke, sitting on blanket, looking at us with black eyes. Alive, looks stronger. Sarah said quietly. Today, first time stood by himself. Drank milk from bowl, getting stronger. Nodded. Good. Means we're doing right. But anxiety and chest didn't quiet. 3 days too long. Stayed at Sarah's till lunch. Helped around house. Chopped wood. Brought water from creek. Patched fence where board fell. Sarah fed Cub. He already drinking from bowl himself, holding with paws on edges, getting noticeably stronger. At 2 p.m. said Sarah, going to station, check radio, maybe Sergeant Morris reports something new, return by evening. She nodded. Okay, I'll be home. Took rifle, backpack, went to station. Walked fast, looking around carefully. Wilderness, quiet, calm. No tracks, no suspicious sounds. Got to station in 40 minutes, climbed porch, pushed door. Opened easily, too easily. Froze. Yesterday locked from inside, left through window, then closed window from outside. Door should be closed, but open. Entered carefully. Rifle ready. Looked around. Inside, chaos. Cot overturned, things scattered. Locker open, contents on floor. Table moved, dishes broken. Someone searched, looking for something. Quickly checked. Food supplies untouched. Money in hiding under floorboard in place. Documents, too. What were they looking for? Approached radio. Standing on table but wire torn. Antenna cable ripped from socket. Tried turning on. Dead. No signal. Checked backup radio in locker. Gone, stolen, clenched fists. Clenched. Poachers came here while I was at Sarah's. Damaged main radio, stole backup. Cut me from communication deliberately. Examined cabin further. On table. Note. Paper torn from notebook. Handwriting sloppy, large. Ranger. Stay out of what's not your business. Return Cub or you'll regret. And your lady friend will regret. Read several times. Direct threat. They know about Cub. Know about Sarah. Threatening. Went outside. Examined territory. Tracks. 2 people. Same sneakers saw yesterday. Approached from logging roadside. Searched cabin. Left back. Hour ago, maybe hour and a half. Checked truck and shed. All 4 tires flat. Stabbed with knife carefully in sidewall. Can't inflate. Need replacement. Have 2 spares but 4 tires, not enough. Truck disabled. Returned to cabin. Tried fixing radio. Useless. Socket broken. Need replacement part. Don't have. No backup radio. In wilderness, no phone, no cell service. Communication lost completely. To town 25 miles on foot. Road washed out. Long walk. While get there, while return with help, 2 days minimum. Sarah stays alone with Cub under threat. Sat on cot. Thought. Options. First, drop everything, go to town, call police. But Sarah stays defenseless. Poachers come, take Cub or worse, harm Sarah. Second, stay here, wait till patrol comes in 3 days. But patrol might not come if no signal. Won't know what happened. Third, take Sarah and Cub. Go together to town. 25 miles on foot with Cub with Sarah. Can manage. Cub survives. Fourth, stay with Sarah, protect her and Cub. Wait for poachers, meet them. 1 against 2. Chose fourth. Not run, not hide. Stand. Packed quickly. Food, thermos, flashlight, shells, knife, hatchet, rope, first aid. Checked rifle. Loaded. Closed cabin best could. Door can't lock from outside, but at least secured windows. Went back to Sarah. Fast, almost running. Need to warn, tell what happened, prepare. Got there in half hour, ran into yard, knocked on door. Sarah opened, saw my face, scared. Quote 80, said shortly, quote 81. Sarah paled, hand rose to throat. quietly. Quote 82, looked in her eyes. Quote 83, she silent then nodded firmly. Quote 84, Cub squeaked by stove. Sarah looked at him then at me, nodded, stayed at Sarah's till evening. We locked all windows, door bolted, explained plan. Tonight go on Recon, find their camp, understand how many, what planning, you stay here. Don't open door to anyone, if hear gunshots, hide in root cellar, safer there. Sarah nodded. Okay, be careful. At 10 p.m. left, no moon, sky covered with clouds, thick darkness. Took flashlight but didn't turn on. Eyes adjusted to dark. Walk by memory. Rifle on shoulder, knife on belt. Went where saw tracks at station. Found them. Followed. 2 men walked confident. Track led through forest past station further north. Walked mile. Track led to old hunting cabin. Knew this place. Cabin abandoned. 20 years no one uses. Log construction, small, roof sagging. But inside light flickers. Campfire probably. Approached carefully through forest from downwind. About 100 feet away stopped, crouched behind brush. Watched, by cabin's small clearing. On clearing 2 men sitting by fire talking quietly. One large, about 220 pounds, 40s, camo, boots, baseball cap. Second smaller, thin, mid-30s, jeans, nylon jacket, sneakers, both smoking. Next to fire, backpacks, rifles, 2 hunting carbines. Large one also has pistol on belt, serious firepower. Lay there, listened. Spoke not loud but audible. Large one said, quote 89, thin one answered, quote 90. Large one smirked, quote 91. Thin one nodded, quote 92. Large one dragged on cigarette, quote 93. Thin one asked, quote 94. Large one shrugged, quote 95, quote 96. Thin one said, quote 97, quote 98. Clenched teeth, heard enough, everything clear. They trade wild animals, killed female accidentally. Thought alone, learned about Cub, decided to take. Live baby worth money, plan to come tomorrow, take Cub by force, eliminate me and Sarah if we interfere. Slowly crawled back into forest. About 150 feet went on all fours, quiet. Then stood, walked quickly back to Sarah's. A long way thought, now know who they are, what they want, when coming. Tomorrow. Need to prepare. 2 armed men against me alone. Unfavorable odds. But I know terrain. They don't. I'll defend, not attack. Have advantage. Need plan. Meet them not at house, but outside. On my territory. Use wilderness cover, surprise. Got back to Sarah at midnight. Knocked code knock, 3 quick, 2 slow. She opened, went in, closed door. Found them. 2 armed, wildlife traffickers. Tomorrow coming for Cub. Plan to eliminate us. Sarah paled, but voice firm. What do we do? Said, meet them, but not here. I'll stop them before reach house. You stay inside with Cub. Whatever happens, don't come out, clear? She nodded. Clear. Cub sleeping by stove, breathing quietly. Small, defenseless. People ready to kill for him. Checked rifle. Tomorrow will be hard. Didn't sleep that night. Sat by window, looked into darkness, thought. Rifle on knees, shells in pocket. Sarah went to sleep in her room. Cub next to her on blanket by bed. House quiet. Just stove crackling. Thought about tomorrow. 2 armed poachers coming here. Goal. Take Cub. Eliminate witnesses. I'm alone. Odds not in my favor. If something goes wrong, Sarah stays defenseless. They'll take Cub, sell him, kill us maybe. Logical way out, leave. Take Sarah, Cub, go to town, 25 miles on foot. Hard but manageable. Get there, call police. They'll handle it. Safe, reasonable, right, but won't leave. Understood clearly. Won't leave because if leave, they win. Come here, realize we left, follow. Catch us on road. We're slower. Sarah tires, Cub slows us. They'll catch. Take anyway. Or worse, And even if don't catch, they'll leave unpunished. Sell cub, get money. Month later, come back to wilderness, kill someone else, take more cubs. Continue till someone stops them. I can stop. Now. Here. This is my job. I'm wildlife officer. My duty. Protect wilderness, animals, people living here. 16 years did this. Stopped poachers, arrested, turned over to police. Sometimes fought, sometimes fired warning shots. Once wounded one when came at me with knife. Wasn't afraid. Did my job. But now not just job, now personal. Sarah, 3 years dying inside. Alone in empty house, no meaning, no purpose. Saw her fading, then saw her come alive in 2 days thanks to Cub. She fed him, cared, returned to life. First time in 3 years smiled. First time eyes had fire. If they take Cub, she'll fade again. Maybe forever. Won't let that happen. Cub, small, defenseless, orphaned because people killed mother for fun. Sat alone in wilderness, shaking, waiting for death. Saved him, took responsibility, promised to nurse, protect. Won't abandon, won't give to those who killed his mother, myself. After divorce, after leaving sheriff's office, looked for peace, found in wilderness. Thought enough, live alone, work, don't attach to anyone, safe, calm, but empty. Last 2 days understood, missed people, missed caring for someone, feeling needed. Sarah needs me, Cub needs me, I'm needed, good, right, won't run, meet poachers, stop them at any cost. Remembered words of mentor from sheriff's office, Sergeant Williams said, quote 103, I stand. Dawn at 6 a.m. stood, stretched stiff muscles, checked rifle, loaded, buckshot. 2 shells in barrels, 10 in pocket. Sharpened knife again till razor sharp. Loaded flare gun with signal flare. If really bad, fire into sky. Maybe someone sees. Sarah came out of room, pale, eyes sleepy. Asked quietly. Quote 104, nodded. Quote 105, nodded. Quote 106, said firmly. Quote 107. Sarah looked at me long, then quietly. Quote 108, nodded. Went outside. Our ex close. They came at noon. Waited since 10 a.m., hidden in forest 600 feet from Sarah's house. Good position, thick brush, clear view of trail and yard. Rifle ready, shells at hand. Heard them 300 feet away. Walking loud, not hiding. Voices loud, laughing, confident. Thought I'm alone, defenseless, scared. Came out to clearing, 2 of them. Large one in front, carbine on shoulder, pistol on belt. Thin one behind, also carbine in hands. Walking straight to Sarah's house. Waited till got closer. 150 feet to gate. 120. 100. Stood from behind brush. Rifle ready. Loud. Stop! Not another step. They stopped, turned. Large one smirked. Oh, Ranger decided to play hero. Said calmly. Turn around and leave while can. Large one laughed. Listen, you're funny. One with Grandpa's shotgun against us too. We got carbines, pistol. Think you'll get shot off? Answered evenly. I will. Buckshot. From this distance tear you in half. Your friend might kill me after, but you'll already be dead. Worth it? Large one stopped smiling. Calculated distance, about 60 feet between us. I'm right. 12-gauge double barrel with buckshot from 60 feet is lethal, guaranteed. Thin one said nervously. Quote 114, quote shook head. Quote 115, large one spat. Quote 116. Started slowly lowering carbine from shoulder. Saw, trying to buy time while thin one circles me from side. Classic tactic. One distracts, second flanks from behind. But I saw. 8 years sheriff's deputy, arrests, chases, fights. Knew this tactic. Yelled without turning. Thin guy, one more step and your friend's a corpse. Stand in place. Thin one froze. Large one understood. Didn't work. Said angrily, quote 118, quote, Sharply jerked carbine, started aiming, shot first, not at him, at ground before his feet. Boom! Earth fountained. Large one jumped back, stumbled, fell. Quickly reloaded, broke rifle, ejected shell, inserted new. 3 seconds. In that time, large one got up, carbine in hands, but I already aimed. Say calmly, quote 119, quote. Thin one yelled, quote 120, quote large one. Serge stood, breathing hard, looking at me, calculating, saw in eyes, thinking if he'll shoot first. Said quietly, won't make it. I'm calm, you're on adrenaline. My hands steady, yours shaking. I'll hit, you'll miss. Was truth. Held rifle firm, his hands shaking, but didn't retreat. Stubborn. Said, quote 122, quote, started raising carbine. Slowly but raising. Should have shot. Another second, he shoots first. Should have pressed trigger, but then Sarah's house door flew open. Sarah came out on porch, in hands, old rifle. Probably dead Paul's. Single barrel. Aims at Poachers, yells loud. Quote 123. Serge turned, saw her, laughed. Quote 124. Sarah fired into air. Boom! Birds flew from trees. Serge stopped laughing, realized, 2 of them against 2 of us, both armed, and we on our land, not theirs. Thin one pulled his sleeve. Quote 125. Serge stood, angry, tense, then spat, lowered carbine. Quote 126. Turned, walked away. Thin one after, quickly, through forest back to their cabin. Stood, didn't lower rifle till disappeared behind trees. Then exhaled. Hands shook from delayed adrenaline. Sarah came down from porch, approached, face pale, hands trembling. Lowered rifle, quietly. They'll leave? Shook head. No. Return. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, but return. Need to leave now. Go to town, call police. Sarah nodded. Okay, I'll pack. Take Cub. Went to house. Standoff not over but won first round. Got to town in 8 hours. Sarah, me, Cub, and backpack. Hard but made it. In town, called police. Gave statement, described Poachers, location of camp. Police went same day. Found Serge and partner at old cabin. Resisted but took them. Seized weapons, found documents for animal sales, buyer contacts. Opened serious case. Illegal hunting, wildlife trafficking, death threats. Both got 5 years. Wanted to take Cub to rehab center right away, but Sarah asked to leave with her. Helped with paperwork, contacted wildlife protection vets. Checked conditions. House, yard, goat milk, Sarah's experience with animals, everything fit. Processed temporary custody, then permanent. Licenses, vet checks once a month. Built enclosure next to house. Large, spacious, tree inside, den, shelter from rain. Sarah named Cub Bear. Simple name. Kind. 6 months passed. November 2024. Friday. 3 p.m. Standing in Sarah's yard, watching Bear play in enclosure. Grown a lot, about 90 pounds, maybe more. Fur thick, dark winter coat. Healthy, strong. Playing with log, rolling with paws, growling softly. Playful like kitten, though he's bear. Sarah comes from house carrying bucket of apples. Goes to enclosure, opens door. Bear sees her, drops log, runs to her, stands on hind legs, hugs with front. She strokes, laughs, gives apple. He takes carefully, chews, chomps. Watch Sarah. Changed a lot. Lost weight. Looks younger. Life returned to eyes. Fire. Hair not gray anymore. Dyed. Light brown now. Dresses differently. Not old home dresses, but normal clothes. Bright sweater, jeans. Smiles often. Sings songs while working. Now helps me at station. Comes twice a week. Do wildlife counts together. Check feeders, refill mineral licks. She became young, energetic. Bear sometimes walks with us. Calm, trained, responds to commands. Quote 130 sits. Quote 131 walks beside. Trained together. Sarah tried hard. Locals amazed. Sometimes meet on trails, hunters, tourists. Look at Sarah with Bear, eyes wide. Once Hunter asked, quote 132, quote she laughed, quote 133, quote he didn't understand. Thought joking. But Sarah wasn't, for her Bear is son. Only one she never had. She raises him, loves, cares, and he loves her. Loyal, affectionate, sleeps evenings at her feet in house when she lets him from enclosure. They sit by stove together. Sarah knits, Bear dozes, family. Sarah closed enclosure, approached, smiling. Jake, let's have tea, baked pie, cranberry. Nod. Let's go. Go into house. Bear follows. Sarah allowed today. He obediently enters, lies by stove on his blanket. Sarah pours tea, cuts pie. Sit at table, look out window. Outside first snow falling. Quiet, slow. Wilderness turning white. Winter came. Inside warm. Stove burning, kettle whistling, pie smells. Sarah humming something quietly. Bear breathing by stove. Think. Sometimes saving animal, we save person. Sarah saved Bear, nursed, brought back to life. And Bear saved Sarah, returned meaning, joy, will to live. They saved each other. And me probably too. Thought solitude enough, wilderness, silence, but no. Person needs people, needs care, warmth, family. Even small, unusual one. Ranger, widow, Bear cub. But family. Sarah puts mug of tea before me, plate with pie, sits across, smiles. First snow, Jake, raise mug. First snow, Sarah, drink tea. Bear snores quietly by stove. Outside window, snow, everything good.